How you can be happy at your workplace. This is what Body&Soul teaches us in her book called Workday, which is what we are discussing today. It really resonates with me as I'm exploring how people can be happy and healthy in their working life. I will go with you through the highlights and summaries of this book. The general idea is that in our work there is always a certain amount of work joy, which means the positive, warm or happy feelings you get about your work when working or at your desk. And then there is the word gloom, the negative, sad or frustrated feeling you get about your work. A.T. Kearney found that 90% of people expected to feel joy at work, yet only 37% of people felt it. That's a joy gap of 53%. It's terrifying that so many people are seriously unhappy in their working life. There are several sources of work joy. First, micro moments, like ticking off an item on a to-do list, a colleague saying hello, or starting a fresh notepad. Second, personal preferences. Meetings you find inspiring, sit in an office lounge with a cup of coffee, or meet a colleague that you like. Third, fundamental factors. These are leadership and organizational culture, which is about how things are done here. I've been working in different companies and environments, and I can say joy can be found almost in every workplace. It's not a passive thing. You can't just get it. You need to put effort towards it. Beth offers us 3 instruments. She calls them 3 E's. First, engagement. Paying attention to what's going on, engaging with your attitude and emotions about work. Second, energy. It's important to understand where you get your joy and gloom from. You need to dedicate yourself to action. You can choose to see it as more things on the to-do list, or you can see it as an investment into a brighter future. Third, experimentation. Be prepared to try new and different things, to break out of old habits and create new ones. Be ready to feel awkward, but walk directly into it, embrace it. That feeling happens just before growth. I've never come across perfect organizations where everyone is always happy. It even sounds unhealthy, to be honest. Beth points on this also and proposes a diagram that shows an example of an average working week plotted with work joy and work gloom moments. And there is a central area called neutral zone. In part 2 and 3 of her book, Beth also suggests that there are inner and outer work joy factors. Starting with inner factors, I would mention life, values and boundaries. When she discusses life factors, Beth makes interesting observations about work-life balance. Here are 3 things that have really stuck with me since I read them. It puts work first in the sentence, and there is something powerful about the ordering. Does it really come first? The phrase ignores the fact that you are still alive when you're working. You have a whole life at work, experiences, friends and sense of purpose it gives you. It also assumes that things stay static. The size of work stays the same and that your life outside of work does too. Of course, there are times when personal life demands our full attention, expanding our family, our hobbies, buying an apartment. Other times, work dominates, with large-scale projects, annual reports and budgeting, or pursuing new career opportunities. You invest energy to find this balance, and it turns out that it is impossible. Then you feel like you failed. There is a really good example representing our priorities in life. Beth puts everything we do in life in a balloon, calls it the balloon of life. The transparent balloon is representative of your whole life. And it is important that your outer balloon is fixed by limitation of available time. Each inner balloon represents a feature of your life that is important for you. Let's say work, family, hobbies, health, friends, and so on. The size of each inner balloon can expand and contract depending on how much time you dedicate to them. Sometimes one balloon may need to be larger than all the others. Then other balloons need to deflate a little for a while. Or you can find that you have too many balloons. We can see that there is also space between the balloons. If you have too many balloons, you have no space and time left. We all need room to do nothing, or have some space to be spontaneous, to say yes to a sudden opportunity.
I do want to take guitar lessons. I do want to learn how to fly. Yes, I would like to learn Korean.
Now let's discuss values. Cambridge Dictionary definition of values is the following: the beliefs people have, especially about what is right and wrong, and what is most important in life, that control their behavior. Beth proposes to distinguish between values, they are heart-led, they help you make choices and decisions that feel right for you. Principles, they are thought-led and influenced by your background, family, culture, environment. They act as your internal moral compass. And behaviors, they are action-led. This is how you demonstrate your values and principles through what you say and what you do. I'll give you an example. One of my values is respect. I believe in the importance of acknowledging the worth of every person for their feelings, rights, and traditions. One of the principles is inclusive communication. I believe that active listening to others and avoiding assumptions and judgment is very important. Thus, in my daily interactions, I practice active listening. I choose words carefully to avoid hurting anyone's feelings. I don't support favoritism and ensure all team members have equal access to resources and opportunities for growth. The problem is that sometimes it is difficult to follow your values all the time. There are times when you end up making choices that just don't align with what you stand for, or when your values clash with each other and you have to choose one, leaving the other behind. And let's be honest, sometimes we overlook our values without even realizing it. Plus, things get complicated when your values intersect with other people's values. On top of that, there are organizational values, kind of the way we do things around here. The values organization subscribes to will inevitably have an impact on you. What's important to me when choosing a company? How the company conducts its business and how much its values align with my own values. Analyze your values and principles again and see if they match the values of the company you work for. If not, this can become a source of work gloom for you. Let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries between work and life have shifted. Consider office work. The workday has extended and expanded, a change driven by digitalization, globalization, and COVID-19. Personally, I've noticed that when I work from home, I put in more hours. I wake up, have breakfast, and immediately start working on the laptop. There's no pause to get to the office, no morning cup of coffee with a colleague. And this has become a significant source of work gloom for many. This is where the importance of setting boundaries to protect your personal space comes into play. Beth offers to define boundaries according to these categories: non-negotiables that hold firmly, free flex boundaries that are the most adaptable, but you need to have a limited number of situations and people in this category, and bouncy boundaries that adapt depending on the situation. Think about it. I'm sure you have 1-2 people close to you whom you'll be there for whenever they need you. So to set your boundaries, you don't need to rush. Pause first. You don't need to decide immediately. Properly consider. Then second, ponder. Look at either end of yes or no spectrum. Then pick, make a choice. Could be yes, but not now, or no, or not yet. In part 3 of the book, Beth discusses the organization as one of the outer work joy factors. Work gloom comes from an idea that your life belongs to the company you work for. Why? Because they pay you a salary. Even when you are at home or on vacation, your head is still filled with the tasks and deadlines. Am I right? All this shrink your other priorities, your inner balloons in the big balloon of life. You need to carefully set your boundaries at work to protect your space and time needed for other important things in life. To sum up, I should say that this book is an excellent toolkit for analyzing your current state of joy and gloom at work, and for discovering tools to increase your levels of work joy. There are many things I haven't touched in this video, so read the book if you are interested in the topic. And I will see you in the next videos.